Thank you to the reps for presenting the Faculty Teaching Award, and congratulations again to all the winners, and thank you to all the nominees also for their outstanding work, contribution, inspiration that they deliver in the classroom to make the magic work here at INSEAD. Now, every class has their own student council. It is my great pleasure to call the student council, and especially the co-presidents, Deborah and Carolina, to the stage to give their student council address. Please come forward.
Good morning, Nabila Aguele, Dean Ilian and Dean Urs, faculty and staff, family and friends, and most importantly, the class of 22J. We did it! Woo! The class of 22J is an example of the power of community. 10 months ago, it was unclear how this year would unfold, but we will never forget how it did. Leaving lockdowns and working from home behind, we took Croatia by storm and then arrived in Fonty and Singi, grateful to be together in person. Having been deprived of normal social interaction for almost 2 years, we took pleasure in simple things like handshakes and Kwame's hugs. Despite being complete strangers, we opened up to each other, sharing our fears and failures and green INSEAD umbrellas, and in the process, we became friends. We learned to live in the present, to embrace uncertainty, and to take advantage of every moment in each other's company. The stark contrast between our pre-MBA pandemic experiences and life at INSEAD made us more social, more inclusive, and tighter-knit than the Schuldeis Hospital alumni community. Civil rights activist and poet Dr. Maya Angelou once said, "We should all know that diversity makes for a rich tapestry, and we must understand that all the threads of this tapestry are equal in value, no matter what their color." One of the defining characteristics of this 22J community is our diversity. Representing 70 unique nationalities, we have connected through our similarities and learned from our differences, finding unity in diversity and weaving the shared identity of the INSEAD class of 22J that will forever bind us.
On behalf of the 22Js, we want to thank all those who weaved this tapestry with us. Moving to Fonte or Singi required sacrifice from the partners who patiently supported us, shouldering greater responsibilities at home, or sitting through conversations filled with buzzwords like Missy and EBITDA. We were also patiently supported by our parents and friends back home. You allowed us to disappear for a year and treated us as if we had never left every time we resurfaced to share a success story or to seek comfort after a disastrous interview. We also thank Deans Ilian and Urs, our faculty and TAs, Katia and the Student Life team, Sven and the MBA office, and the CDC in your roles in challenging us and inspiring us to grow. This year, the 22J class worked closely with the school to renew its approach to dealing with harassment cases. For this, we thank Katia, Jad from the Women in Business Club, professors, and every student that contributed to this effort. Together, we achieved real change this year. This is the power of unity.
We would also like to acknowledge section reps, club leaders, and the student council team up here with us, Akash, Miriam, Huandi, Louisa, YY, and Sahar, for their dedication to making our experience at INSEAD the best it could be. Let's give them all a round of applause. All 497 of us contributed our individuality to weave this community by leading and inspiring others with our passions, be it for cooking, karaoke, or sports. As we shared our perspectives in class, we expanded each other's understanding of topics that otherwise felt too distant, like the Lebanese financial crisis or what it's like to be a refugee. When recruiting season came, we procrastinated our own studying to help each other with interview prep and hashtag casing up. Through it all, we changed jobs and geographies and started new companies. We also planned epic trips and unforgettable parties where the eternal fight between reggaeton and techno was always amicably settled because being together was more important.
Even though our musical tastes differ, we discovered that despite being raised on opposite sides of the world and speaking 53 different languages, we have a lot in common. Many of us would have been more comfortable speaking our native tongues, yet we speak English to connect. In the beginning, some of us felt insecure about not speaking it perfectly. But as we learned to recognize our friends' nationalities from their accents, we embraced our own. We realized that the way we speak a second language is one of the many colors we bring to this tapestry. This year wasn't always a straightforward path. If you've ever looked at the backside of a tapestry, you are likely to see a mass of loose threads, tangled and disorderly. For many of the 125 Singi starters, our first 15 days in Singapore felt like this, pure chaos. Instead of being greeted by our new classmates, we found ourselves quarantined alone in a hotel room, requesting knives from the reception. Those were the first times we heard "cannot la," a phrase we would hear continuously, even after quarantine. However, it only encouraged us to be resourceful. Ben organized Keystone dinners every Friday, where we over-ordered on Deliveroo and overshared details of our lives. He always made sure to remind us about the restrictions in place, which we gladly abided by, and never turned dinners into parties in House 101 or 38. We were constantly told, you cannot be in groups. So we started biking in Pulau Ubin, hiking Clementi Forest, bouldering with Filio and Harry, training with Fotis and Luke. Apparently, in Singapore, you cannot catch COVID if you're exercising.
We will never forget life in Fonty. We couldn't really escape each other. Whether in Franc Prix, on Rue Royale, or in the canteen, we were always surrounded by green lanyards. And when we weren't, we could feel each other's online presence on Telegram. Despite our disagreements over which section is really the best, or how much Huandi's mic is really worth, we were there for each other at our lowest moments, like on Mondays when Dardenville is closed. We compensated for the lack of culinary variety in town by importing spices, and if we were lucky, Chris would suggest a wine pairing. We shared crutches and knee braces after ski trips and sports tournaments reminded us we're not as young as we feel. Our study groups and section families went the extra mile to care for each other during the COVID outbreak that followed Mojito Gate. Or was it really the E5 talent show? Beyond COVID, we learned that it's okay to ask for help and knew we could always count on Floyd's cheat sheets to get us through.
Traveling in a post-pandemic world was also a team effort. We navigated travel restrictions and spent a lot of money on COVID tests, counting on our friends to make us feel like locals in their countries. Traveling in such diverse groups often raised the question, where are you all from? This question made us look at each other and smile, because we know INSEAD is an impossible experience to describe to anyone from outside. And then we would reply with pride from all over the world. We learned how to be ourselves while belonging to a group where everyone's a minority. It is this sense of unity born out of our individualities that makes the INSEAD class of 22J so special. Each and every one of us played an important role in this class, each a unique thread in the 22J tapestry. As we say goodbye to what is probably the most international environment we will ever experience and re-enter the real world, we are proud of how this year shaped us. We will continue using our authenticity as a strength, leading by example to empower those around us to do likewise. We will apply the way we learned to care for and include each other, bridging our differences to bring people together. Now that we have experienced firsthand the power of unity in diversity, when someone asks us, "Where are you all from?" we can proudly answer, in 53 languages, "We are the INSEAD class of 22J." Thank you. Now we are going to hear a special song from the class.
Okay, quick.
Until we